going to take us through what the design sprint is and what we're going to be doing. She's also going to tell us who our facilitators are for the design sprint.
Well, I don't know if I'm just going to call them out.
Okay.
They'll tell us who they are themselves.
You can just call them out.
Yeah. Yes. Good afternoon. I don't know if this mic actually works.
No, it works.
Yeah, I don't think it amplifies. Maybe it works, but I'm not sure it actually amplifies. Good afternoon, everyone. That was very low energy. You know what happens after lunchtime? Who knows what happens after lunchtime? What? Why do you think that happens?
Because so much.
Apparently, all the blood leaves the brain and goes to the belly. So, I want to say welcome. I wonder if there's an energizer that's needed. And we have lots of young people, so I feel like I want to put a young person on the spot to energize the crowd. Who's going to volunteer? Yeah?
Hello guys. So my name is Annor. I'm from Zimbabwe and the final year student at African Union Academy. So yes, what I'm going to let you do, I'm sorry for the adults who might now have weak backs or anything like that. It will lead back to them. My chemistry classes, the stretch, our teacher always makes us do, especially after lunch when everybody's dozing off. He'll go, Annor, cheer up. In fact, come give us a stretch. So today we're going to do that. So everyone can please stand.
Ooh, okay. I'm standing.
Yeah, so to the early alarm and early students, this is courtesy of Mr. Tango. I like to give my citations. Yes. So,
okay, we'll hold that.
Okay, so we're going to stretch. So we're going to spell coconut. Yes, coconut. So yeah, just follow after me. Okay. Yeah. So we're going to start with a C. O. C, the other side. O. And then N. U. And T. Yes. Can you feel the blood going back?
It's going back. Thank you so much, Anastasia. All right, I'll hand over.
I'm back. I hope you didn't miss me. I hope I wasn't away for too long. So slight change in program. A lot of people have been asking if the groups can get to present on what they were talking about. And we heard you guys were having some really cool discussions. So we just want to give 3 minutes to a person from each group to just give us an overview of what is the great conversation that you were having. All right, can I have a first volunteer from the first group, so the group that was with David? You are giving confidence. Were you with David? Yes. Do you wanna?
Can we just volunteer? Can I finish up my points?
Okay. Does anyone volunteer as tribute? Anyone?
From this group.
From any group now. Are you from David's group?
Yeah.
All right, please come forth, Tony. Let's give Tony a round of applause. Our first tribute. Yay! All right, 3 minutes, Tony. I'm gonna time you.
Okay. I put the clock down. Okay. All right. So you tell me when you let me know when I can start.
Yes, please.
Yeah. Hello, everyone. I thought we just did a stretch. So David's group had a very interesting conversation. The conversation centered around open banking. And open banking is just you being able to transfer your data from one data controller. When I mean data controller, for example, bank A to bank B. So we had a conversation and we tried to identify the challenges on the continent. And from our conversation, something was very prominent, which is the gap in terms of public digital infrastructure. By that we mean, okay, do we really have the infrastructure to power this open banking? And from our arguments and all of that, we saw that the infrastructure, the data public infrastructure in many countries are fragmented. What that means is that there are different stakeholders that are providing solutions, but the solutions are not integrated. So we began to brainstorm. And from David's very strong argument from his experience, he argues that there will be more incentives if there is a public, is it public-private, or is it private-public? Okay, public-private partnership. Whereby companies, partner with the government to provide or to build a solution. And we talked a lot about Nigeria, maybe because I'm from Nigeria actually, yeah. So we looked at the solution in Nigeria and we saw that there are solutions in Nigeria, but however, there is fragmentation, in terms of the solutions, and different stakeholders are doing different things. And we also talked about regional solutions, whereby regional economic communities can actually come together to build regional infrastructure to support what is happening in the different countries. But again, there is challenges in that, because in the different regions, there are so-called regional leaders or hegemons that could hijack the whole process, just as the AFTA is just challenging for different countries to key into the AFTA. So generally, thank you.
Thank you. Sounds like a very interesting discussion. All right, we have our next volunteer. Please. Wait, he's from the same group? Oh, okay. You have 30 seconds. This group has 30 seconds. Speak fast.
Today, I want you to brief on a touching topic that talks about open banking. One, open banking is a numerous potential to revolutionize the way we interact with financial services. It promises more convenience, transparency, and access to generate finance. So the first thing we talked about is political will. To drive the change in crucial without clearing policies and committed leadership framework remain incompleted. Speaking of frameworks, we've noticed that existing regulations often have gaps. These gaps can create unnecessity for businesses and customers. Another challenge is trust. Many people are hesitant to share their financial data with technology. There are real fears of cybercrime, data leaking, and another problems as Africans, people believe in other things or fearing technology. So, in conclusion, open banking is not just a technological shift. It is a cultural one. Political support, robust frameworks, trust building, and education are all essential if we get the right way. If we can teach children to do cyber security for their careers, that way we can strengthen our open banking so that every person in Africa is provided with strong cybersecurity, and they can trust that the bank can keep their data good and better. Thank you.
Akanya for president. I felt inspired. I'm like, are we voting? Oh my God. Feel energized. You woke up the room. Well done. All right. So next group. Hey, had X to follow. I know. So anyone who was in Kagiso's group, please come give us a passionate summary from your discovery of your discussion. Any volunteers? Kagiso's group? The volunteers on the way? In Botswana, when we're waiting for somebody to come, we say we're waiting for them with a song. Somebody has to sing a song so they can arrive, you know? We're not really going to sing a song. All right, are you guys ready?
We are.
Yes. Put my hand in the mic. So you?
All right. Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for the opportunity. So we're in Kagiso's group, and what we explored was local investment and crowdfunding. So the key question that we asked was, what counts as capital for youth SMME development and innovative financing? And what was key to our discussion was that what was presented, especially in the morning, to say we need to look at local context. That's number one. Number two, we need to use what we have all right? Now that would translate into a situation where there was a suggestion of Ujama, which is something that happens in Tanzania, if I'm not mistaken, to say when we are doing this, we need to start small. And when we start small, we start with what we have, what you have, what I have. We come together and we sort of build that funding from that. What would be an example would be, for instance, the Jewish economy. There's a term that they say, money revolves around them before it goes out. So they develop each other with the means that they have, and there's that collaboration, that spirit of bond we always talk about. So that's one of the things that we can do. And we got to discuss some of our group. They had experiences where they went to local communities to say, we have this sort of idea. Let's say maybe we want to develop maybe a broiler company. What is it that you need? What is it that you have? And then we come together. But those things then, when we raise funds from that, there are some aspects of regulatory norms that we need to abide to. I think I'll give it to someone.
Okay, thank you so much, Tabi. So just to sum up what he has mentioned, that there is a need of scaling up financing for SME development in terms of crowding effect, because the fiscus as well as the government cannot resolve social and economic issues in Africa. We then touch base around promoting and reviving township economies and rural economies from a capacity building stance. Also, we did mention that in terms of crowding funding, regulatory environment is very key. But we think that acting within the regulatory environment, there's a need of meeting up the minimum threshold of the regulatory environment. Therefore, we then mention how do we then balance scaling up capital and inviting private capital participation. We then mentioned and said that there's a need of good publicity as well as informing the private sector of the risk involved in scaling up finance and crowding up funding, because we do know the work by Barrow that government needs to finance infrastructure before they can create in private sector, and the government needs to also take into account not to crowd out private sector participation. So ladies and gentlemen, with all that being said, we said that promoting local investment and crowding financing from private sector participation is very key, because the government or politician or the fiscus cannot resolve our socio-economic issues of high poverty levels, high unemployment rate, and wide inequality. Thank you so much.
Well done, team. Well done. Thank you. So we will give any volunteer from Abigail's group a moment. I think that's mine.
You have one more question?
Two more.
Oh, two more.
Yes.
But there's three.
Come forth. No. Oh. This is, yeah. No, it's a different group. But you will go for Abigail's group because they look ready. This would be a great time for that song. I'll just do a little step. A little sad for the occasion. All right. almost here. You have 3 minutes.
Keep your hands as feelings. He's gonna tell you the time.
It's gonna be static.
Wait. Can I do extra minutes?
Hi? It's not. It's on. Is it? Yeah. Okay, so we were part of the Future Lake Civic program and app. So the aims that it has is to educate and empower young Africans, particularly in South Africa, to become active and informed citizens. The program provides accessible online app-based content on government, democracy and public service to build civic knowledge and leadership skills. It is a non-profit initiative that seeks to create a more engaged electorate by giving citizens the information to participate in democratic processes and hold leaders accountable. In terms of civic education, the program provides online courses and app-based content to educate youth about their rights, responsibilities, and how democratic systems work. So, to amplify what this app is all about, the purpose is to empower South Africans through accessible civic education and engagement tools. Its audience segmentation is tailored to strategize to ensure the app reaches all citizens, whether they're in urban and rural areas, young and old. And then its accessibility is that it has it explores a zero rating to make the app accessible without data costs, especially in remote areas. And then we have also acknowledged the challenges that it might have due to app-based delivery, but it is working towards inclusive digital access. This includes training models, which is train the trainer. So we have the teacher being educated about what they're going to teach in terms of this app. And then it focuses on consistency and accuracy of information to counter misinformation and disinformation, because we know how the internet works. So we have times whereby internet publishes false news or propaganda, as one might say. And then, in terms of demographic insights, its majority of current users are women aged 18 to 35, highlighting the need for gender-inclusive strategies.
Thank you, everyone. I think I'm audible. So, basically, at its heart, Future Lake is about power to the people. Literally, it's a civic empowerment platform designed to make democracy something we live, not just something we vote for. Through accessible education and engagement tools, it helps South Africans understand their rights, roles, and responsibilities in shaping the nation's future. The program reaches everyone, young or old, rural or urban, and aims to make civic learning easy, fun, and inclusive. They're working on making the app free to use without data, using the trainer model to empower local leaders to teach their communities. Most users are women, aged 18 to 35, showing the power of young women in driving change. And looking forward, Future Elect suggests empowering women as trainers, improving data systems, and bridging the digital divide. It also calls for youth-led, creative, and tech-driven ways to engage citizens, from music and social media to real conversations about issues like violence, poverty, and unemployment. Thank you.
The leaders of today, guys. The leaders of today. All right, last group, Abigail's group. I think we already have 2 people from that group, so please come up. Teamwork makes the dream work. Come forward. Come forward. All right, please, your timer is over there.
Yeah, hi everyone. Okay, so thank you for the opportunity. Our group was chaired by Abigail. and the center of our conversation and discussion was on public-private partnership. How will innovations youth access funding and support, for their projects? And we started the conversation with an icebreaker of why everybody was in the group. I show you we had 12 giant disciples in the group, and we summarized their intention, why they were in the group. Some of them learning how to access funding for youth and community development, understanding how to collaborate with government entities, and then support for running projects in agriculture, youth development, climate change, and all that. So we learned from the wealth of experience of one of our attendees from Malawi who had a project or an organization that have done this in the past. And she basically have looked at how to collaborate with government, how to get funding, how to get support with the government. And the center of our discussion on how do we actually partner with the government, how do we get support from the government, and how do we access the necessary funding for our innovations and our projects. We came to the conclusion, basically, the strategies, number one, engage all stakeholders early enough. The government that you want them to support funding and all that, you need to engage them early enough. You need to align your project with the necessary policy and the interests of the government. You need to speak the language of the room, basically. You need to ensure that whatever you are saying is also what the government can understand, basically. Then we ended the conversation by agreeing that stronger collaboration, clearer communication, and demonstrating value is really essential for creating that partnership that is necessary for your project. Thank you very much.
Thank you to all the teams. You clearly all had really engaging discussions. We're really excited about that. So now we're going to move back to the design sprint. So I'm going to hand Amabel the microphone again.
I don't know if I need the microphone. Do I need it?
You probably don't.
No? Okay. Can I just leave it so that because I feel like I have a lot of things in front of me. So, good afternoon once again. I feel like the blood is now back, like circulating well, so we're all good. Welcome everyone to the design sprint, which I think is one of the most exciting parts for me, because listening to these amazing young people, just listening to all the ideas they've had, the way they've synthesized all the different things that happened today, quite exciting. And now the ball is in their court to help really now start innovating in real time. So we're going to be designing and sprinting today, right now. So we're designing ideas for innovative financing models, financing democracy, and we're doing it quickly, and we're pitching quickly, and we're getting judged quickly. So I have wonderful facilitators in the room who are going to help with this, and also I have our judges. Can you raise your hand if you're one of the judges? Yes.
Okay, I've seen.
Oh, she's bringing their names so I can. You're going to have to pronounce them.
Yeah. Okay, the judges. So our judges are Palesa Chandu. Okay, I used my Setswana tongue. All right. Kyolebogile Diswai. And Honorable Mope in the back there. We know him. We saw him earlier. And our facilitators for today, Amabel herself. We have Alex Kotlaizile over there, Violet Pondakwao, and Abigail.
Yay.
Once again.
Thank you. Guys, you see why she had to pronounce those names? Like, there's no way. I would have been arrested by now, but thank you. So today has been an interesting day. So many things have been said that have been really profound. A lot of, when you hear these one-liners that stay with you, someone said you're either at the table or you're the fish and chips on the plate or something, So there's been a lot of really interesting one-liners. I heard a one-liner last week in Nairobi by a lady who's called British. That's her name, British, and she's Black American. And she said, Africa cannot aid its way to prosperity. And that stayed with me because it's true. And I've heard that said in different ways today. So it tells me that we're all thinking alike. At the fact that we have been so aid dependent that it feels like it is a form of, we're slaves to it almost. And I remember someone said once to me, she said, you know, every time I feel like as a young person I have to wait for someone to fund my dreams or aspirations, those dreams just die a little bit every day. So we've been waiting and hoping, and hope is not a strategy. So today we're strategizing, we're designing, and we're sprinting. One of the things that I've been thinking about when I think about aid has been the fact that we're so dependent on what flows to us versus what grows from us. And even what grows from us goes away and comes back refined, and we're having to depend on the away thing that came from us, sourced from us, but away, and it's a very crazy system, and that has to change. And there's an urgency in that. There's no better time, there's no other time, because of the world that we live in, the poly-crisis that people talk about all the time. And the reason why young people, we talk about them being the critical mass, the center, we have to leverage them. The reason why that's true is because they will be the ones who experience the fallout of what the world is longest. They will be the ones. It will be the young people. So if they're not architecting right now, if they're not participating, true participation, not tokenism, like someone said, I think it was him, then there's this dystopian sense of what the world will be if we're not reached, especially for Africa. Because when you think about all the narratives, the incidences, the metrics, the things that we are measuring, it's dire when you hear about it. When you go to like a human capital development conference and you hear all the statistics about Africa, you're just thinking, wow, thank God we have young people though, because they're the hope. So a round of applause to our young people. When I think of aid, I think aid as, of course, there was a time and a place for it, but it was always supposed to be a bridge. You don't live on bridges, you cross bridges. We are at the point where we need to be on the other side completely. Last month, I saw some statistics that said in Nigeria, foreign remittances, that's diaspora remittances, surpassed aid. They sent like $20.8 billion in remittances. So that is diasporians sending to families and friends and all of that. And it got me thinking, and I was sharing with Val and someone, I was saying, one of the things I was looking at when I was looking at that data, I was like, a lot of that money was money that's to be consumed, consumptive. It wasn't regenerative. It wasn't money to be invested. It was money to be used. And how do we start to change that up? Those are some things that we can start looking at. I heard about leveraging diaspora today. Someone mentioned that. So there's a lot to think through. But again, the goal is that we need to move from dependency to sovereignty. And so that's been said many times today. Financial sovereignty. It needs to be more than just the word we use that's very fancy, but it needs to be the thing we do, the thing we are. Not just do, a way of being, not just a way of doing. So today, again, very excited because we're leveraging our young people, greatest potential in the world, to actually come up with some great ideas. And I really think there's going to be some really great ideas, because I think innovation and creativity is actually the fuel of financing for development, financing for democracy. And the time, again, like I said, is now. It's now the future that we've been saying for the last 50 years. The future is now. So welcome to the future, guys. Alrighty, so this is about us being our own agents of change. This is about us owning. I think that was a word that was used a lot here, and I noted it down. And this is about capital that is insourced, not outsourced. I always use that in my organization, Leap Africa, which is a youth leadership development organization. And I always say, let's insource before we outsource. Let's see who among the team members or who among our group who can do certain things before we start thinking of where we can get it from outside. And I see that as sort of like a framework for even how we think about Africa, how we think about our young people. Someone said, and I think it was the ambassador who said that democracy cannot be donated or something like that. And that stuck with me as well. It's one of those one-liners that I'm going to have to try and remember. but we're not waiting anymore. That's basically what I'm saying. We're designing now. So let's get to it, guys. Yeah.
So the cameraman says, please should be using the mic so that the camera can pick this up.
Oh, okay. So I need to use the mic, basically. I think this is off.
No, sorry.
Okay.
The mic that we were using before.
The camera guy needs it, which is fair. So, what's going to happen is we're going to be broken into groups. I don't know how many of us are in the room. Did we do a count? Maybe we should just do like 6 groups, Abigail. So we do 1 to 6. Okay. So I think we'll do 1 to 6. We'll just count, and then we'll have 6 groups. Is that too many? Okay. So we just the facilitators will just roam around and support, but we don't want to prompt. We want the ideas to actually come from people, and we want you guys to go wild, think outside the box. I was thinking recently. I had a conversation with someone, and he said, democracy, and he's a professor. Or he's an academic though. He said democracy that we practice right now, it actually wasn't, the roots of democracy wasn't exactly what it is now. Like people that thought it through. And so for everything that we take as normal today, it started somewhere by someone or by some people. Why can't it be you right now? And then one day, years from now, they'll say a new wave of something, governance, happened in this room on the sidelines of G20. That can happen. It can be you. There's no reason why it has to be Plato, really, And like the great philosopher Bob Marley once said, emancipate yourself from mental slavery. None but can free our mind. And it starts with how we think, how we ideate, how we innovate. So guys, let's get to it. Thank you. So let's do the 1 to 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah? Am I starting with you or no? Facilitators too? No. Okay. So I'll start with you. 1. It's all like 4. 4. 6. Oh, you're both, okay. So if you're a facilitator, maybe you shouldn't even be sitting down. Maybe you should be standing with me. I think before. No, so we're going to do like a roaming. So do you want it to be 4 groups instead? Is that better? We should do 4 groups. Okay, let's start again. Let's do 4 groups. Thank you. That's good. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. Oh, judge. No judges around. No judges allowed. 3. 1, 2, 3. 4. 1, 2, 3. 4. 1, 2, 3. 4. 1, 4, 2, 3. 4. 4. No, you. You're looking right into my soul. 4. Yeah. 2. Okay. 3. 4. You're 4. Yes. Next to you. The second one. 1, 2, 3. 4. 1, 2. Okay. Yeah, do you remember? 3. Oh, okay. 3, 4. Guys, how many people have already forgotten their numbers? Who remembers their numbers? Awesome. All right. So can we go into 4 groups? Where are we gonna be inside and outside? Sure. So we're ideating and coming up with an idea for how we finance democracy and development. And then at the end of how many minutes? 20? We're going to come together, and someone from the group is going to pitch for 2 to 3 minutes, and the judges, very scary people, they're going to be the ones like scoring, and there'll be a winner. And I don't know, is there going to be prizes for? Okay. but it's an ideation.
It's just similarity that we've been asked for. So the ideation is group, one person presents, or they can choose to present, and how long will they have?
So they'll brainstorm as a group. There will be a core idea that comes out from that brainstorming, and then some prototyping. So you kind of you can have a visual prototype. So whatever that looks like for you, and that's why the facilitators are also kind of roaming so they can support that. So you're fleshing out the core idea. So what, like, is it a fund? Is it a platform? Is it a policy? What is your idea? And then you're crafting it. There's going to be time to craft your pitch, but someone will have to do it. You can't be every single person in the group. What's the problem you're trying to solve? What's the solution? And what's the impact you're hoping to have? And that pitch, it's a 3-part framework. Problem, solution, impacts. It's explained, and then the judges are going to judge the pitch. There'll be a winner. And it's 4 groups now. So based on that, you pitch it, your pitch is reviewed, we'll critique it, the panelists, the judges, general audience, the reflections and next steps. And the goal here is that even though we're doing this as a fun activity, but it can actually have very meaningful real-world impact. It can be things that we can share in bigger rooms, bigger spaces where there's policymakers, there's influencers that can actually start thinking influential and impactful. So
Can you say 3-minute pitches?
It's 3 minutes pitches, yeah. So very quick pitches. So think about it, if you're in an elevator with the most powerful person in the world and they said, listen, I need your idea, tell me, and I have only 2 minutes or 3. What would you say? How would you say it? So think about the problem, the solution, the impact. And that should really be something that guides everyone, like our framework for how we share some of the things we do, helping us learn how to be concise. So any other questions? Any other clarifications needed? Are we good? Yeah. How many people remember their numbers still? Okay. Oh, only 2 people? You all remember your numbers? Okay, cool. All right then. So I think we can break up into groups. Where do we want the groups to be? In and out?
2 in here and then the other 2 outside.
Okay, so 2 inside and 2 outside. So maybe 1 and 2, 3, 4.
3, 4 outside.
Is that fair?
Group 1 over here, group 2
over there.
Group 3 and 4 outside, please.